GordyDownUnder has asked the following question. Given that China pretty much owns the USA, what are you going to do when they call in their markers? And he gives three choices: default, bomb China, or other. This is an excellent question. We can't default. This would create an economic crisis, and we've had enough of those, and it would be all around the world. So no, forget defaulting. We can't do that. And we can't bomb China because at some point in the future we may want to borrow more money from them, and people don't really want to lend you money if you're using that money to buy bombs that you're dropping on them. What I will do is take the same approach that I take to my own personal debt. When China calls, I will let the phone go to message. If they come to the door, I will hide behind the desk. Every now and then, I'll send them a little small payment, just enough to get them off our backs for a while and keep them hopeful that they'll get the rest.
Well, I have to agree a little bit here with Honest John. Not a lot, but a little bit. I have to agree, yes, we cannot default on a loan. It would, totally destroy whatever would be left of the goddamn economy. And, you don't want to do that. He's right. It would affect the whole world. And, frankly, I don't want to be the guy who goes down in history as the motherfucker who finally destroyed the country. That's not me. I don't want to do that. This other thing that John just said about, this trailer trash fucking answer he gave about how to avoid his goddamn creditor, that's such bullshit. Come on, John, wake up. Smell the fucking coffee or whatever it is, You can't do that, it's just not right. It's not a grown-up fucking thing to do. No, that's not what I would do. First of all, if China calls in its loans, what I would do is, if Texas were still a part of the Union at that point, because I'm planning to get rid of Texas. I don't really want to get into that bit right now, but we're going to get rid of Texas. But if Texas is still part of the Union, it's a perfect opportunity. We'll just give them fucking Texas. They can have it. They can deal with the motherfucker, okay? Let them fucking deal with fucking crazy-ass Texas. They fucking deserve it. They're stupid enough to loan us money. They can have Texas, okay? Now, if Texas is gone, and they call in their loans, and obviously we can't default, and we can't give Texas away because we've already gotten rid of the motherfucker, then I guess the only thing to do is to bomb the shit out of them and just borrow money from somebody else.
OldFartRants has asked the following question.
Hey, Honest John. Hey, Exile Guy. It's Old Fart, your old buddy. How you doing? With the situation in America and the world today, my question is one that I think everybody asks at least once a day. As such, your political debate might just be the perfect forum to get this pressing question of our time answered once and for all. The question is really simple, and here it is. What the fuck? No, seriously, what the fuck? I mean, really, what the fuck? Have a great debate, guys. Peace and love.
Old Fart, I thank you for that question. It's a question that's been asked for as long as people have been on Earth. It's as universal as air. It is on the lips of the young and the old, men and women, everybody. And not just in the United States, all over the world. Sometimes I wake up asking that question. Sometimes it's the last question I have before I go to sleep. So I will be happy to answer that question for you. Could you be more specific?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question?
What the fuck?
Hey, that's what I thought you said, I just wasn't sure, and I'm sorry that I asked you to repeat the question. I hope it wasn't too much. probably the first thing that came out of my mouth when I woke up today was, what the fuck? And I'm pretty sure, as most days end, the last thing that comes out of my mouth is, what the fuck? So, this is something that obviously I spend a lot of time with and a lot of time thinking about. And, and you're correct, everybody asks this question all the goddamn time, and nobody really considers what the answer might be. And I've given it a lot of thought. Fuck, I've been staying up nights thinking about this, And the only thing I can say is the answer is yes.
Another question asked by GordyDownUnder is, do you promise to crack down on organized crime, including the mafia? I will crack down on all crime, both organized and disorganized. Disorganized crime is messy and sloppy. Organized crime. Now, I know Exile Guy has accused me of having mafia ties, but he's the one who sent people in cheap suits with permanent 5 o'clock shadows to break into my apartment. So if you want to know about organized crime, you'll have to ask him. I hope that answers your question.
I'm really happy you asked that question, because I have a plan for eliminating all crime. There will be no more repeat offenders, and people will be really wary about committing a crime to begin with, because the punishments are going to be so fucking horrible, alright? If you do anything more than a misdemeanor, I'm sending your ass to fucking Texas, okay? That's the deal. You commit a crime, you go to fucking Texas. You repeat a crime, you go to fucking Texas. We're going to wall the place off anyway. We're going to get rid of the motherfucking place. We'll send all the fucking criminals to Texas. You do that for a couple of years, I guarantee you, no more fucking crime. Nobody will fucking spit on the goddamn sidewalks. Alright? That's what being hard on crime is all about, okay? Now this whole other thing about, mafia connections, fuck, Honest John is a goddamn bagman for the Gambino family. Alright? That's what he does. That's how he makes all his living. He talks about being in this poor little fucking apartment in Hollywood. Motherfucker, you should see his goddamn estate. Yeah, I had to send people over there to rifle through his shit. Of course I did. It's the only way you can find out any truth about him. It's all walled off and everything else. What are you gonna fucking do? He doesn't tell anybody shit. He just makes shit up as he goes along. So yeah, I'm really happy that you asked this question, GordyDownUnder, because it gives me a fucking chance to tell the truth about motherfucking Honest John.